It's Tuesday, everybody. Happy race day. And welcome to a drive-through sim series doubleheader event from Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, starting with the season opener of the debut, the first ever season for the Sim Series Amateur League. 37 Pinty's-style cars. Nobody's going home early. Everyone's making it to the race, and we're going to run 26 laps here on this 2.459 mile road course. Up and down the hills we go. It's a tough one. We'll see how these amateur drivers can cope today. Qualifying results have already been up, which means we don't have to go through anything. We're just going to go straight to the race. I'm drive-through, and we're going to get straight on down to the action. To the most famous words. I missed them.
Drivers are.
That's close enough. We'll sit through 20 seconds of it. Get hyped, everybody. Starting on the front row, having qualified in first place, the number 81, the fan favorite of Thick Daddy. On the outside of him, it's the 75 of Anthony Lopez. Both of these drivers having run in the Sim Series last season.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Nice and easy, long day. It's going to be a lot of adjustments. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. This is a real race here. We're going to have a blast tonight. I can't wait to get up and get going.
A front row comprised of two drivers who both ran in the regular Sim Series last season, and this season have dropped down. I wonder if they'll find more success down in this level. We'll find out. Got a lot of tough challengers behind them, though. Starting on the second row, the number 0 of Jacob Hitz making his debut, alongside the 06 of Huang Do, whose only Sim Series outing was a DNQ. Behind them, it's the 45 of Cyclone and the 04 of Dog, then the 55 of Shalom Motion, and 57 of the Chisholm family. In row number 5, it's the 80 of DualShock alongside the hometown hero, the number 32 Canadian Tire, fittingly enough sponsored Dodge Challenger of Nathan Kiani. Starting behind them will be the 97 of Dice K18 and the 78 of Pantallica. And they are just ahead of the 2 of that 2003 guy, another full-time Sim Series driver from last season who dropped down. Right, no, I guess he was a part-time entry. And the 40 of Nick Sant. Behind them, it's the 77, the drive-through Racing Ventures car for Drayden Zen, and the number 1 of TS Media. The 03 of Alan Johnston and the 12 of Cigar. David Alvarez in the 68 alongside that racing kid in the 24. Orioles in the number 89. Cody Boggs in the 7. Ethan Head in the 8. NJC driving that bright red Chick-fil-A number 17. And it's the 88 of Mitchell Carter. John Felber doing double duty this weekend. He's driving the 73 in this race. Looking out for him in the 52 later on tonight. Then it's the 15 of Jake Corway, the 48 of NASCAR Fan 48. 56 of Nitro, 26 of Tropical Cyclone. Double Bore in the 07. Caleb Strope in the 14. NASCAR Fan 09 in the 9. Winty in the 3. Roger Gregory in the 33, Zachary Fitzwater in the 59, and Mountain Dew Fan for Life in the 16, leading out the field. The Dodge Challenger pace car getting ready to pull into the pits for 26 laps of racing. We should get at least one pit stop. Here comes Thick Daddy alongside Anthony Lopez out of turn 10, taking the green flag here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Pretty good start by both of them here. No, the 75 drops back, and Thick Daddy's pulling away by over a car length as they drop down into the downhill turn 2 treacherous area. Huang Do making a pass on Jacob Hitz on the inside, but now he'll be on the outside as they go back up the hill into turn 3. Thick Daddy still ahead by a couple of car lengths. Jacob Hitz fending off the 06 of Huang Do. Still pretty busy behind him, most of the pack going too wide, down the hill to turn 3, and then up again through the tight hairpin, Moss Corner, turn 5. Hitz and Doe really close together. Actually, the 75 of Anthony Lopez went a little bit wide. Jacob Hitz having a peek to the right side of him as they go down the Mario Andretti straightaway. Not so straight. It goes uphill. It goes, turns right, left, then right. Jacob will fall in line into third place. So Thick Daddy from the pole will lead the first lap of the Sim Series Amateur League. As he comes out of turns 9 and 10, the 75 and the 0 pretty close behind. Then it's Huang Do and the 04 of Dog going pretty wide in the final corner. And he's got a big train of cars behind him. The 45 of Cyclone and Slow Motion in the 55 as well. And DualShock in the 80 trying to work the back of the 57 right now. This would be for 8th place on the track. Down through turn 2 again. Most of the field single file, but the 03 of Alan Johnston being forced to the outside by the 97. See if he has a run on the inside here through turn 3. These guys currently fighting over 14th place. Looks like the 97 will hold on to it for now, unless the 03 sends it up the inside. So we see the 06 and the 0 side by side again for 3rd place. Huang Do is stuck on the outside in the hairpin, though. That's not going to work for him. There we go. Now we got the ticker up on the screen. You can see what's going on. Also a reminder, if you're a Twitch subscriber or a Patreon Amethyst tier or higher, you get access to live timing and scoring, and you can follow along with the race. You can see what everyone is doing at any point. Or you can just use the fantastic ticker on the top of the screen to see what's going on and how your favorite driver's doing. On lap 3 of 26 here, Thick Daddy's still pulling away. He's almost a second up over the 75 of Anthony Lopez, who seems to be backing up the rest of the field. You can see just how close these guys are together. The 0 of Jacob Hitz, Huang Do, Dog, Cyclone, they're all close together. A train of cars up and down the hills here in Clarington, Ontario. As we see now the 32 of Nathan Chiani trying to make his way up the field. Gets past DualShock in the 80. He's lost a couple of spots. Pantallica in the 78's got by the 80 as well. Onto the straightaway they go. Trying to find some draft. The 78 behind the 57 has got a few car lengths still. But Pantallica has moved himself up into 9th place. It looks like the biggest stack up here is still the 75 of Anthony Lopez, with Jacob Hitz and Huang Do right behind him. As we go on to lap number 4 of 26. Thick Daddy in the lead now by an even greater margin. Anthony Lopez dropping back. It's 1.2 seconds the gap. And we're only on lap number 4. Looks like the 04 and the 45 still close behind Huang. Just nowhere to go right now. Pretty hard to pass here. A lot of high-speed corners. It's a tough track, but without absolutely sending it up the inside, it's pretty difficult to get by. We'll see how these drivers cope over the course of this race. Still a long way to go. Dog trying the inside of Huang Do. Doesn't get a very good run out of the corner, though. If you can pull in behind and get some draft, maybe it'll work. The 06 just got a great exit out of the corner and now holds on to that 4th place position. As the lead field snakes through the last few corners. Site of many a great finishes here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. The 7 of Cody Boggs looking at the inside of the 24 of that Racing Kid. Nothing there quite yet. Still pretty single file, most of the field. But we're still early on. I feel like most of these drivers will be playing it safe at this point in the race. And the number 9 of NASCAR Fan 9, very much off the pace right now. He's running almost 2-minute laps. Or did he pit? The 9 is a ways behind the field as the rest of the field comes through turn 4. NASCAR Fan 09 is running through turn 1. Well, he just set a very quick lap, so I think he had a problem. Let's go back and see what happened to this 9 car. He's not off pace as much as he has just fallen back. So I don't know if there was a pit stop or an on-track incident, or did he just miss the start? I think he just missed the start of the race. Oh, he got turned by the 14 and he went through the wall. What? Caleb Stroup on the rear corner of the 9 gave him a bit of a shove coming out of turn 10, and suddenly he found himself in the pits. Mosport Magic is right. I've never seen anything like that. We have unsolid walls here at CTMP. Apparently, just off of turn 10, you can go through it and into the pits, and that's why the 9 has fallen so far back. I now regret investigating into the matter. Thick Daddy now ahead by over 2 seconds. Anthony Lopez really backing up the 0. He gets a bad line through the first part of turn 5. Huang Do to the inside. And it looks like finally he'll be able to get past Jacob Hitz and maybe even the 75. Down the Andretti straightaway, that 06 Ford against the 75 Toyota. Hitz is staying behind the 75 for now, but Do's going to have the inside through the last set of corners here. Still really tight, almost running into each other. But the 06 does get by the 75, and I think maybe a bit of contact between him and the 0. Jacob Hitz looking to do it in turn 10. Lopez is going to get a better run out of the corner. Does Hitz still have the position to be there through turn 1? Does. But Anthony Lopez is still holding on, and now he'll be on the inside through turn 2. These guys have been side by side for 3 corners in a row now. Jacob Hitz trying his best to move up into the 3rd position. Now that Huang's past him, he's just trying to hold on to where he was. Through turn 3, it looks like almost clears the 75. But Anthony Lopez is still there. He's got the inside through turn 4. Down the hill they go. Up again into turn 5. Jacob Hitz still there. They've been side by side for almost an entire lap now. And finally, the 0 gets himself past the 75 and up into 3rd place. So that's a couple of spots dropped down for Anthony Lopez. And Jacob Hitz, well, he worked hard for it, but that's a net gain of 0. He lost to the 06, but he did get past the 75. So now let's see if Huang Do, unchained from being stuck behind the 0 and the 75, can close the gap in on Thick Daddy. We'll take a look at the gap as soon as it updates. Obviously, it was hard work getting past the 75. Let's see if he's still got tires underneath him. These guys should be able to go around 20 laps on fuel, so they will need to pit at some point, whether that be under a green flag condition or not. Remains to be seen. And you can see the gap that Thick Daddy has built over the first 7 laps here. With that slow 75 car. Well, not particularly slow, just not quite as quick as the 06 and the 0 have been. And now he's got a couple more cars knocking at the door. That's Dog in the 04. He's already looking to the inside coming through turn 5. 75 gets a better exit out of the corner, though. And Dog's still unable to make a pass here. Down the back straightaway they go. Thick Daddy just pulling away from the field. He's coming through turn 8, a couple seconds ahead of Huang Do in the 06. Jacob Hitz staying in touch, but not really challenging the 06. As we look down through the field, the 80 of DualShock looking at Kiani. These guys have been battling a little bit. Drayton Zen in the 77 has moved up. And the rest of the field looking pretty single file right now. As we go back through the pack, NASCAR Fan 09 still ways away from the pack. He's going to have to bank on a caution or something. You see the rest of the field coming through turn 1. He's still on the back straightaway. So that pit lane incident really, really costing the 9 team right now. As we look at the cars come over the hill in turn 4, what a beautiful sight it is. My goodness. Oh, that is fantastic. Love the look of these cars. And it's so great to see them finally racing in the Sim Series Amateur League. In the last lap, Thick Daddy still pulled another 1/10 of a second on the 06 car. Not pulling away quite as much as he was when the 75 was in second place, but that gap is not closing down. Flying Ryan asks, am I in this race or the next one? That'll be the next one, sir. Don't worry, I'll be in that 77 car. That's starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, which is in 35 minutes. Big Daddy still way out front. Barely in the same shot as Huang Do now. 3 seconds is the gap between first and second place. So whatever setup they got working on that Dodge Challenger, it is absolutely hauling right now. A lot of cars kicking up dust on the outside of turn 2 here, and a bit of a stack up. Cyclone Motorsports teammates here. 7 and the 8. Or no, the 8's not Cyclone Motorsports. They're just both Impalas. The 26 definitely is. That's Tropical Cyclone himself. And they're both trying to get past Ethan Head. That's the inside line sim racing entry. And on the back straightaway, 26 working the inside of the 8. Falling a little bit behind. Still is just a bumper underneath him. And we all know at CTMP, if you have a bumper underneath him, that's enough to make a move. So here he goes to the inside. These guys fighting over 22nd place right now, getting really close together between turns 8 and 9. But Tropical Cyclone will make the move stick. And we got more battles back here. The 89 of Orioles, the 12 of Cigar. Into turn 1 side by side. The 12 going to come out on top. Maybe. Orioles is fighting back. I mean, we've seen these guys have been able to run side by side for several corners in a row. Seeing a little bit of a gain here. But it looks like Cigar should end up in front. He's got the inside line through turn 3, and he does clear the 89. So he's up into 25th position. So plenty of action midway through the pack. But Thick Daddy on the last lap just pulled another couple 10ths of a second over Huang Do. And now look at this. Anthony Lopez in the 75 is fighting back against Jacob Hitz. These guys have been battling all day. Here he goes, looking to the inside through turn 8. Jacob Hitz trying to hold him off. He's going to have the inside through turn 9, almost getting together. This is for the final position on the podium, 3rd place. Anthony Lopez giving it all he's got. It looked like he'd fallen out of touch a little bit, but here he is. Side by side again with Jacob Hitz. Boy, these guys have been side by side a lot today. Now on the outside through turn 2, is he going to make it stick? Oh, Cayman Killer with the Twitch follow. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Welcome. We're having a great time here. Watching some fantastic action here at CTMP. Still side by side, the 0 and the 75. My goodness. Anthony Lopez has to hang it around the outside of turn 4, but he'll get the benefit of the bottom through the hairpin. Moss corner, this 2-part hairpin. The 75 does get a nose out in front of the 0. See if Jacob can get a good enough exit. Not quite. He's about a car length behind the 75. Down the back straightaway they go. So put Anthony Lopez back up into 3rd place. And with all the battles he's had today, Jacob Hitz finally falls down out of the podium positions into 4th. Huang Do sitting pretty comfortably here in second place, but Thick Daddy. I mean, look at the lead he's got. Coming under the bridge now. Let's look for the rest of the pack. 3.5 seconds. My goodness. Rest of the field looking pretty single file now. Now that we're halfway into this race, almost, at the end of this lap we will be. I wouldn't be surprised if we see guys starting to pull some green flag pit stops. The good part about having a road course like this is you can pit under the green flag without losing a lap. So if you split a segment in half, you will have the advantage of a few more laps on fresh tires than drivers who decide to go long. So hopefully we'll see some differing strategies here later on in the run. Again, these guys can run only 20 laps on a tank of fuel, so the pit window is most definitely open. As I fiddle with the cameras, we see Cyclone in the 45 closing in on Dog in the 04. Down the back straightaway. Not quite enough draft here to close on in. 10 bits from Nort. Oh, look, I'm back on my BS. Hi, Nort. Welcome. Long time no chat.
Big dick
Oh,
energy.
Jacob's in the pits. We got energy from Austin Ripp as well. 199. Look at them cars. Turning right and everything. It's incredible. All right, well, we knew someone would pull the trigger here, and it looks like the 0 of Jacob Hits is the first one to do it. No, Thick Daddy's coming in as well. So leader pits. He wants to come in early and get some laps on the fresh tires, but Jacob Hits wants to see if he can maybe get past the 06 and the 75. No one else came in. So that's just first and fourth place coming into the pits. The rest of the field still out there, which means Huang Do is maybe going to lead a lap if he doesn't come in this time. We'll see. Thick Daddy out of the pits into turn 2. Jacob Hits about the same gap behind him, as the rest of the field is still making their way out of turn 5 and onto the back straightaway. This may work out for Jacob, especially because he was so close behind the 75 car. I mean, I'm sure the team radio and Anthony Lopez's ear is telling him to push now. Push now, come in, get some tires, and try to minimize the undercut advantage. So we should see the rest of the field file into the pits. Here comes Huang Do, Anthony Lopez, Dog as well. I'd be surprised if anyone stays out at this point. The 68 of David Alvarez is going to try and go long here. That will work out only if we get a caution within the next few laps. Otherwise, I think he'd be dropping a lot of positions. Everybody else came into the pits, and you can see just how tight it is. This is going to be a busy pit road. Hopefully Anthony Lopez gets a pretty good stop here, as well as Huang Do. These guys are both in danger of losing some positions. So David Alvarez is now your leader on the off-cycle pit stops. The 9 of NASCAR Fan is going to come in as well. So Thick Daddy retains the lead. Huang Do got a really good stop. He ends up closing that gap in. We're going to see where Jacob Hits comes out. He's right behind Dog here, and he's going to lose out. I thought the undercut would give him an advantage, but pitting out on his own, I guess he didn't have a very good outlap. And he ends up getting passed by Dog. So that 04 is up in a 4th place. He's all over the back of Dog, though. Really, really close behind him. Through Moss. Does he have any advantage coming onto this straightaway? Not quite. David Alvarez does come into the pits. And he will lead this lap. But I think he'll still lose out. Well, I don't know, because the later pit stop did work out for Huang, and it did work out for Dog and Anthony Lopez as well, so we'll see if it's any advantage to the 68 team. As this hero of Jacob Hits still all over the back of the 04, I think giving him a little bumper. Coming through turn 10, gives him... Oh, he turns him, he's inside the wall! He's done! That's it! Jacob Hits just took out Dog, and it's over. That car's destroyed. He got pushed into the invisible wall, came back into existence, and the car is wrecked. And I think the 04 is going to have some choice words here for Jacob Hitz. This could get dicey. And that car is most definitely out, and the caution flag is as well. So this is going to close the whole field up. So Jacob Hitz bodying his way back up into 4th place. Now going to have a caution to bunch the whole field up. Wow. A surprising turn of events. Not great for David Alvarez. Would have liked that to happen about 1 lap earlier, as he was out in the lead at the time. But, well, this is going to make an interesting run to the finish here, as we're coming to just 10 to go. A caution flag is certainly going to make things interesting. And Dog is very unhappy with the on track. You know, he's out of the. He's mad. Oh boy. Well, he's gonna have to wait because the 0 is still on track, and still looking at a pretty good finish, I must say. As the chat says, Dog has been killed. I mean, that was a hard hit. Perhaps not the most realistic one. Can we get a replay, please? Oh, I don't know if you want me to do this, but I'll try. I will absolutely try. Coming out of turn, I think they got close together. See, let's go on board here with Jacob Hitz on 0. Right behind the 04 of Dog. Through turn 9. And then turn 10, he's looking to the inside and just hooks him coming out of the corner. Dog tries to save it, but just gets into the wall, and that is day done for the 04. And not a scratch on the 0 car. And you can see that's just as David Alvarez was coming out of the pits. So actually, I think Alvarez got a pretty good handful of positions here. He's up into 6th place. So that long stop absolutely worked out for the 68 car, because he's in 6th now. Before the under green, he was in 16th. So David Alvarez has picked up 10 spots with the overcut. So we're going to pace for 1 more lap before we go green, which means we'll be going green with just 8 to go, as apparently doing that pauses my screen. Nice. So we will take a very quick race break under caution here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Stick around. We got a lot of action and a tight field. Should be a good race yet to come. Back from a very quick race break here. We've had a couple of other cars come into the pits. I saw the 9 of NASCAR Fan 9 and the 59 of Zachary Fitzwater come in. 59 was already at the back of the pack, so pretty much a free pit stop for him, as the lights are out on the Dodge Challenger pace car. Thick Daddy's got a lot of work, a lot of pressure on him now. I don't know where the 59 is gone. I don't see him on track, actually. Oh, engine failure. Oh, no. What a tough day for Zachary Fitzwater. Started at the back and now retiring under caution with an engine failure. I've never seen anything like that. Wow. Tough day for him. And, oh, he's clearly not happy about it. It's a tough way to start your career, isn't it? Well, we all have those days. We're going to have 8 laps to go here. Thick Daddy still in the lead. Huang Do up into second. 9. Interesting username. 9 is subscribed. Also, Ben by thanks for the 15 bits says, what just happened was animal cruelty. Well, the pace car pulls into the pits. Green flag in the air for the final 8 laps here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. And Thick Daddy again showing his dominance, already pulling away from the 06. A fantastic restart for that 81 car. Through the 55 of slow motion all over the back of the 0 of Jacob Hitz. What an exciting day it's been for that 0 team. Probably not exciting in the right ways, but still set for a pretty good finish. Huang Do is going to have to use as much of the draft as he can down the back straightaway when they get there. As we see the 32 of Nathan Kiani and the number 77 of Drayden Zen trying to get to the inside of him. This is for 9th place. Does get to the inside of him through the hairpin. May be able to work his way past the 32 car, and he does. As now the 55 has gotten past Jacob. That's slow motion, and David Alvarez is going to try and pull up behind him. Over the hill into the braking zone of turn 8. The 68 on the inside of the 0. And Jacob Hitz has to back off. There just isn't as much grip on the outside there. David Alvarez into the top 5. This guy was running 16th before that green flag pit stops. That strategy has worked out perfectly. And maybe a little bit of aggressive driving as well. Huang Do still staying pretty close to the back of Thick Daddy. Not letting that 81 check out like he did in the first run. Anthony Lopez staying close behind. Slow motion up into 4th place. It's the best that 55 has been all day. Same with Pantallica in the 78. He's up into 7th. We've got a train here just inside the top 10. Nathan Kiani sitting in 10th, and it's a dual shock right behind him. And the 0-3 of Alan Johnston. Brother, of course, of Sim Series driver Ryan Johnston. Looking to make an impact here. Drayden Zen at the inside of the 57, coming out of the second half of turn B. That's a tough spot because he's not going to have a great exit. And we have a caution. We have a caution for the 9 car. Boy, the struggles. NASCAR fan 09, and that car is pretty well damaged. I hope it didn't involve the non-existent wall, but it might have. And it did. All right. These guys are fighting over last place on track, and it's Nitro in the 56. Turns him coming out of the last corner. Oh, my goodness. And that car has been sawed in half in the boom wall. That's an interesting sight. Either way, he got dumped by Nitro for last place, and that 9 car is pretty much out of the race as the pace car phases through the leader. Well, at least we didn't have to wait another lap. The rest of the field has to back off and let the pace car pick everybody up. Boy, this boom wall has come into use a couple of times here. We might see it again later today at 5:30 when the Sim Series race goes green. Hopefully we don't see it in qualifying before that, but hey, we might. Mike and I's asked, so why does that wall not actually exist? I have no idea. So much ghost action this race. Canada is haunted. Well, we're here for another week because next Tuesday is the second consecutive doubleheader event with the Amateur League and the Sim Series running on the streets of Toronto. Lights still not off in the pace car, and you know what that means. We're going to take another quick race break and be right back. Race break complete here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Looks like they are still trying to work on that 9 car. Obviously a lot of damage. I've already been in there for over a lap. They might pull him out, but he might stay on track. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's not like he'll be competitive anyways, but he's been at the back all day. He's gone through that wall a couple of times. So we should go green next time by. We saw in the last restart, Huang Do was able to keep up pretty closely with Thick Daddy in the 81, but wasn't really close enough to make a pass. We certainly saw a lot of shuffling on that first lap, so I think we'll see some action. We're going to get the green flag here with 4 laps left. Barring a caution, it should be a pretty fun run to the end. Yeah, Mac, I think we will see that wall come into play later on. Well, lights are out this time. The field will bunch up again. Thick Daddy has led all but 2 laps, and that was just under the green flag pit stops. So 81 has been dominant today. We saw how big of a gap he pulled early on, but I don't know. I think these drivers will be pushing just a little bit more here for the last few laps. Hopefully that doesn't mean we get any more cautions. I would love to see these guys run green to the end, but hey, you never know. First ever race here in the Sim Series Amateur League. So lights out on the Dodge Challenger pace car coming through turns 9 and 10 here. Thick Daddy in the lead still. Can Huang Do mount an attack? Can Anthony Lopez hold on to 3rd place after all he's been through? Green flag in the air. 4 laps left at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. This time not a great start by the 81, and here comes Huang to the inside already. Into turn 1, it's the 06. The bright purple and pink lift machine trying to make it work, but the 81 got a great run out of the corner. Side by side now through turn 2, the 75 of Anthony Lopez trying to take advantage. He's nosed ahead of the 06, and that's going to let Thick Daddy finally get away. Looked like he'd lost it all, but what a great run he had on the outside of turn 1. And Huang now is busy dealing with the bright green 75. Side by side down the hill into turn 4. David Alvarez also making a move on slow motion here. That's for 4th place. 2 by 2 through Moss Corner. Getting, a little tap between Huang and the 75, and that might have just made that move work. Huang Do up in a 2nd place still. He holds on to it. Slow motion also held on to his 4th place from David Alvarez. who's now looking to be almost under attack from the 0 of Jacob hits. Huang still pretty close behind Thick Daddy through that whole battle. He's looking to the inside, not quite there. Thick Daddy takes that line away through turn 8. Now 9 still close together. Anthony Lopez right there as well. They're going to come to the line with 3 laps to go. Is that enough for Huang Do? 75 right behind him. About a car length back from Thick Daddy right now. Most of the top 10 managed to stay in order. Thick Daddy's still holding on to the lead. I thought through, especially that send in turn 1, that Huang Do would have taken the lead, but that 81 just had a huge run out of the corner. And runs a little bit wide through turn 4. I think he'll be okay. 75 of Anthony Lopez wasn't right behind him, making an attack. This field goes pretty wide here through turn 5, trying to maintain some momentum as they shoot out onto the back straightaway. Huang Do right behind the 81, trying to stay in the draft. Get any advantage he can, because they're coming to 2 to go. And the 06 is running out of time. Remember, in this series, we have no win and you're in system. It's bare bones. 2007 Cup Series points. If you're consistent, you'll be rewarded pretty well. That being said, there are some bonus points for winning, and I'm sure Huang is interested. He's all over the back of the 81 right now. And pretty big gap forming now between himself and the 75. So he's right on the back of Thick Daddy now. This is attacking distance. Let's ride on board the 81. You can see him close in under braking. Down the hill through turn 4, braking again for turn 5. Looking to the inside, nothing quite there. Getting really close behind 5B, and here comes the 75. Anthony Lopez was suddenly a part of that battle. I didn't expect him to be, but he was peeking to the inside of Huang, coming through 5B. Now here comes the 06 to the inside. Does he have a bumper there this time? Not quite. He's going to bide his time, getting back behind Think Daddy. Still close, coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, and look at the top 5, all close together. David Alvarez trying to get to the inside of the 55, can't quite do it. But the big story is Huang Do in 2nd place, trying to work the back of the 81. Think Daddy not looking quite as strong as he did early on, or maybe just driving very defensively. He's going to have to work hard if he wants this win. Boy, I hope Huang doesn't regret not jumping to the inside through turn 8 last time around. Might work out if he can set him up and get a good run down the back straightaway again. It's all still up for grabs. Huang Do close behind, down the hill, up again, Moss corner. He just needs to hold his momentum through here, get a good exit out of the corner, and then he'll be able to attack the 81. Staying pretty close behind. He's going to have to suck up as much draft as he can here. I don't know if he's close enough to do it. Maybe. Down the back straightaway, about a car length back on Thick Daddy. Looking to the inside again. Still nothing there. The 81 has done everything he needs to do, and unless Huang sends it in the last turn, anything left? Can he get a bumper there? Not quite. Thick Daddy out of turn 10 completes the domination here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, leading all but 2 laps. And Advance Auto Parts number 81 Dodge Challenger. It was a tight one. Through all of the chaos and the boom wall, fan favorite Thick Daddy does pull off the win. Having dropped down from the Sim Series last season, people wondering if he still had it in him, but here he is. He's found a new home. And that home is Victory Lane. And we'll take a look down the field on their cool-down lap here. Huang Do does end up finishing second, only 0.2 of a second in it. Anthony Lopez has had an up-and-down day, but he ends up holding on to third place. Slow Motion works his way up to fourth in the end. Great run for that 55 team. David Alvarez also getting a top 5 after sitting around in 16th place for most of the race. Great run for the 68 team. Jacob Hitz, he's going to have an angry dog to answer to after this one, but he's coming home with a 6th place finish ahead of Pantallica in 7th. Then it's the Chisholm family. 8th, Drayden Zen picks up a top 10. There's a rhyme I didn't expect to make. Nathan Kiani rounds out 10th place. And so the 81 will head off to Victory Lane. We'll take a look at the full results, just so you have it all down. The only retirements from this race, Dog in the 04, of course, Zachary Fitzwater with an engine failure, and NASCAR Fan 09. It was just a tough day for him. So 2 cars in the boom wall and 1 car with a boom under the hood. Pretty exciting bit of racing, but we are not done yet. In 5 minutes' time, we're going to be here for the Sim Series main event, pre-qualifying, qualifying, and then 42 cars around this racetrack. It should be a really, really fun time. So thank you all for watching, but stay tuned. We're not quite done yet. Still got a lot to go.